Welcome everyone, you're watching Co-op Focus. I'm Dina Vera.
And I am Karen Gonzalez. South Texas is a growing region, an area of rapid rural development, and it is in need of assistance, calling for cooperatives. Without cooperatives, many services would be too far or non-existent.
Stick around to learn how TRCC is helping rural businesses, the history behind Valley Telephone Cooperative Inc., a look inside Good Neighbor Pharmacy and Yard to Market in Austin, Texas.
But first, let's see how TRCC is providing assistance to rural cooperatives. Help yourself, help your neighbor, and help your community with simple choices like supporting your local cooperatives. Cooperatives or co-ops look just like any other business, but only with a couple of aspects that make them different. Co-ops are member-owned, member-governed businesses and organizations working together to create stronger communities. They help local startup businesses grow, improve their services, and set reasonable prices to provide the utmost quality. Unlike most large publicly owned corporations, a cooperative does not funnel profits to outside investors. Instead, it returns profits to the members of the cooperative itself. These voluntary organizations are available to any person who is interested in their services and willing to accept the membership and requirements. As a team, the organization's members elect board members to represent them, and all decision-making is handled in a democratic manner. One member equals one vote. To support the growth and development of cooperatives, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley has developed the Texas Rural Cooperative Center, also known as TRCC, to provide assistance to cooperatives in rural Texas.
TRCC, which is short for Texas Rural Cooperative Center, is a cooperative development organization that has been operated by UTRGV since 2002. And its mission is to help improve economic conditions for rural areas, primarily in South Texas, but really throughout all of rural Texas. And it really works on economic development by promoting cooperativism, by helping startup and existing cooperatives and rural businesses to start up, to expand, and to improve their operational efficiency, and therefore create jobs, increase revenue, and help business profits flow down to members of cooperatives. There are different business formations that operate cooperatively that we also provide services to. That can include for-profit businesses, LLCs, that operate as cooperatively or as worker co-ops, nonprofit organizations that are dedicated towards helping individuals through some type of cooperative activity, be it production, be it marketing, be it accessing a service, or purchasing. TRCC is primarily funded by the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. Co-ops are important for two main reasons. The first is economic. They're an integral part of our national, state, and regional and local economies. But they're also very important parts of our local communities. Cooperatives have a community function where they are here to support the needs of the communities and to help develop local organizations and other local cooperatives to improve outcomes for individuals throughout the country.
My name is Diana Padilla, and I'm the co-owner of Yahweh All Natural Farm and Garden. And I'd like to talk to you about our Hope for Small Farm Sustainability nonprofit project. We want to share with people how we started and help them grow their own small farm. Our garden classes are given by the UTRGV Center for Rural Engagement. And the Chefs Association participates and helps us with cooking classes. And Yahweh All Natural Farm and Garden farmers help other farmers. And so far we have 8 new farmers that are participating in the farmers market in the Hope House.
With assistance available in all areas of the organization, existing cooperative owners can bring more opportunities to their community.
For more information, visit the TRCC Facebook page at UTRGV Texas Rural Cooperative to find out more information.
A single person can create a great idea, but many can create history. just like this group of farmers and ranchers in the 1950s. And it all began with a farmer's magazine and dedication that led to Valley Telephone Cooperative Inc. in Raymondville, Texas. Learn how this cooperative began in just a few minutes.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
For too many parents, a baby's first steps aren't just a milestone. They're a miracle. A miracle made possible by volunteers like you who walk and raise money in March for Babies. Sign up today to take the steps that help make milestones and even miracles possible. Who will you march for?
In the small town of San Perlita, Texas, a farmer's magazine arrived at the home of JT and Zelda Mayo, offering a grant to bring telephone service to the area. With no way of getting to town in rainy weather and a child on the way, a telephone was needed quick. In the 1940s and 1950s, communication technology was booming in urban areas. But in rural areas, telephone service was scarce. The venture that would become Valley Telephone Cooperative began with JT Mayo and his wife Zelda, who lived in San Perlita, Texas at the time. The muddy road that led to town was troublesome to cross after some rain. Not to mention, the arrival of their son was soon expected.
My mother discovered that she was pregnant. And very early on, she realized she was living in the country, and we only had one car, far away from everybody, and she was concerned about any type of medical issues. And she saw an ad in the Farmer Stockman that said that the government was offering some grants to start telephone cooperatives. And she pestered my dad until he agreed to go attend a meeting over at Monte Alto at the Rio Farms Community Center. And he attended that and got a lot of information, came back to our area and started working with other people that were interested in getting telephones.
Despite the lack of capital and technical expertise, a group of local residents in Willacy, Hidalgo, Kennedy, Cameron, and Stark counties committed themselves to the goal of bringing telephones to their community. They held meetings in an attempt to bring a large telephone company to the area. But these companies discovered that offering services in sparsely populated regions would be too expensive and unprofitable. For members of these rural communities, creating a cooperative was their last resort.
The larger companies, the AT&Ts, the Southwestern Bells in this area, and General Telephone, had simply passed over the rural areas because there weren't enough people per mile.
The Rural Electrification Administration would grant the community long-term low-interest loans to start the telephone cooperative. However, the process for approval was not all that simple.
It's not so simple. When you have a telephone system, you have to put wires and cables and telephone poles in those days, and you have to buy equipment and connect all that.
The REA repeatedly rejected the residents, causing many to lose interest. But the lack of funds and closed doors did not stop the process.
They ended up taking petitions around door to door and getting people to sign up and donate some money.
Many were skeptical about applying to create a cooperative. Some refused to apply until signs of construction were taking place. A meeting was arranged on September 28, 1950 in Monte Alto, Texas to formally appoint directors and complete government paperwork to organize a cooperative. Several applications were successfully gathered with the expectation of more to come, but the REA had yet to approve a loan.
The company got started truly on a shoestring and was managed nickels and dimes at a time for the first 10 to 15 years until there was some breathing room to start actually having some discretionary spending.
By April 22, 1952, the cooperative was officially established. At last, on October 23, 1953, the first REA loan of $351,000 was approved. The loan was enough to begin expanding the cooperative.
But in terms of learning how to build a telephone network, none of them knew anything about that. They had to learn that as they progressed and as they got the equipment. They have a big piece of equipment that would ship in, and they'd all look at it and try to figure out what to do with it.
Stillman Exchange had its first long-distance call when J.B. Pinson, the first president of Valley Telephone, made a call to his mother who lived in Oklahoma. By that time, Zelda's son was old enough to use a phone on his own.
On my first birthday, they had their first directors meeting, and when I was 6 years old, we got our first telephone.
At the time, only party lines were provided in rural areas. Various homes would share a telephone line, which meant eavesdropping, or what was known as rubbering, wasn't shocking. As time passed, improvements were made and private lines became available. 15 years after the cooperative was established, Hurricane Beulah blew into South Texas, devastating the region and causing thousands of dollars in damage to Valley Telephone Cooperative alone. Through hard work and determination, the cooperative managed to recover stronger than ever. As the cooperative progressed, working from different offices across Raymondville became difficult, bringing about the construction of the new building in the 1980s. The company has managed to build networks with state and national organizations and has become the primary service provider for over 15,000 customers in a 10,000 square mile service area in rural South Texas.
The cooperative is there for the people, and we are dedicated to trying to bring affordable and quality service, which is a different concept than the regular business model, and that's what I'm proud to carry on that tradition.
Yes, sir. Okay. We'll get that taken care of for you. I'll be right back. Take care.
Since its humble beginnings more than 60 years ago, the number of members has increased 400%. With telephone, television, and internet service now available, this establishment is set to assist generations of ranchers, farmers, and rural businesses for the years to come.
It's amazing what hard work and dedication can do. Although the Mayo family didn't have telephone service in time, the rural residents of South Texas can now enjoy of internet service, television, and phone service.
And just by discovering a need, services and products are available through cooperatives like Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Find out how this local pharmacist is helping our community when we come back.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
We're all part of your community.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
So protect your every day.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Pharmaceuticals across South Texas are closer within reach, provided at a faster rate, and more affordable. With increasing numbers in diabetes, high cholesterol, and other widespread illnesses, affordable medication was urgent, and it so happened to be provided by a good neighbor. It takes more than counting pills and prescriptions to be a pharmacist. It takes a good neighbor. Good Neighbor Pharmacy is a cooperative network of more than 3,600 independently owned and operated pharmacies. It was originally founded in 1982 with the goal of providing health education and treating medical ailments in underserved communities. With the assistance of AmerisourceBergen Drug Corporation, a Fortune 500 company, Good Neighbor has been able to expand across the United States. The Good Neighbor Pharmacy Cooperative works with its individually owned franchises to offer quality products and value pricing of chain stores, while providing personalized customer service.
Very well. This will last you 30 days, and you do have 5 additional refills. Okay.
It really started out for the needs of the small pharmacies, just simply because we don't have enough buying power in order to purchase a large enough quantity of products to compete with the bigger pharmacies that are out there. So what they did was a group of people got together and decided that they were going to go ahead and form a co-op, and by doing that they can get everybody together and say, you know what, I've got 10,000 pharmacies that are going to be part of our co-op, and we want a better price on all this product, or we'll go to somebody else and then we'll get a better price from them.
For individually owned pharmacies, partnering together to form a cooperative allows inexpensive pharmaceuticals to be provided at a faster rate. Products are directly purchased from a manufacturer by AmerisourceBergen, then distributed to independently owned Good Neighbor pharmacies. The same products are promised for the same price. The larger the bulk order, the better the price.
Before the co-op, we were having to do quite a bit more shopping around for the best pricing. Now we can go simply to one source and be able to purchase everything that we need from that one source and be assured that we're going to have the best pricing available to us.
With a reliable supplier and business coaching available through Good Neighbor Pharmacy Provider Network, any qualified pharmacist can take ownership and establish a Good Neighbor Pharmacy at any location without the administrative hassles. Improvement in health begins with identifying the needs of the community and bringing aid closer to the people. Alessandra Valdez is a Rio Grande Valley pharmacist who owns 2 Good Neighbor pharmacies in the area.
I mean, there's so many needs, especially here in the Valley. You have a lot of medical conditions that are pretty prevalent. It's primarily a Hispanic population down here. So you have your diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol. So we want to provide those services to our patients and make sure that they're adherent to their medications.
With so many good neighbors around us and through the use of SureScripts and a mobile app, patients can expect their order in no time. Not to mention the Prescription Savings Club, wellness calculators, and social media updates on health tips.
Well, SureScripts is it's a software where we're able to receive electronic prescriptions. So it saves a lot of time for us because we get the prescriptions pretty quickly, and that saves us time as far as having to clarify instructions, and we're able to get the medication out a lot faster to the patient.
By joining the cooperative, Good Neighbor pharmacies are able to compete with larger stores like Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens.
Just simply because without the co-op and the support that you get from them, both in negotiating contracts and as far as with the third-party insurances and negotiating contracts with buying of the medication, the different products, you wouldn't be able to compete in today's market.
Good Neighbor pharmacies sell 52% more over-the-counter items than any other pharmacy. Its reputation for superior customer care has ranked the cooperative the highest customer satisfaction with chain drugstore pharmacies in J.D. Power and Associates National Pharmacy Studies.
Our main goal is to educate patients, to be compliant with their medications, to answer any questions that they may have, and to, treat them like a member of the family. They're not just a number here. We genuinely care about their health.
Alrighty. Becoming a cooperative is about coming together as one and to help the community in any way possible, like a good neighbor.
When you become a pharmacist, you take an oath, the oath of the pharmacist, and that is to always make sure that the patient is taken care of and you provide the utmost care that you possibly can. And, their health is the number one thing. The patient is number one here.
Visit your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy website to learn more on the Prescription Savings Club or My GNP mobile app to electronically submit orders.
TRCC has helped many organizations grow. Hang in there as we go into Austin, Texas to see the Yard to Market.
Millions of people are affected by disaster in America. And we're right there, providing food. With more than 200 food banks, reaching communities all across America. Donate now for immediate relief and long-term recovery. Every dollar helps provide food for disaster victims. Help now at feedingamerica.org.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities. to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give. Advocate. Volunteer.
Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
For some babies, first steps are not just a milestone, but a miracle. You can help these babies by joining thousands of families and companies at March for Babies. Sign up, raise funds, and make miracles possible.
Yard to Market is a cooperative owned by home-skilled food producers. With the assistance of TRCC, Yard to Market is up and running.
Hi, girls.
Annalise Lotman is a farmer.
So what I'm doing is I'm putting some amendments on these peppers here so that they've got a little something to munch on.
Leslie Williamson is a farmer.
All right, I'm just going to stand here for a while.
And Alan Schrader is a farmer too. But unlike conventional farmers, these Texans don't have hundreds of acres of land out in the country. They all grow their crops in their front and backyards in the middle of Austin.
Connects me with nature, gives me a avenue for stress relief, you know, dealing with the stresses of society. You can get your head into the garden and just forget things.
At least for me, my garden has really been a large source of what we're eating in the kitchen, and it's also an area where I can just come out and be quiet and do some work.
I love to garden. It's a really important part of my daily life, to go outside in the garden, to work in the earth, to see the plants growing.
These micro-scale farmers shared not just a common passion for growing fruits and vegetables, they also discovered that farming individually presented many challenges. They learned it was expensive to buy supplies. Navigating the ever-changing sea of food laws and ordinances was puzzling. Harvesting and marketing their crops proved to be time-consuming. These and other factors made it difficult to pursue their love of gardening and still meet the demands of their jobs and family lives.
I wish I could dedicate more time to it. I spend about 4 to 6 hours on Saturdays doing this and can't seem to find time during the week to come over here and do this, but I'd like to.
Insurance is a very big component of that. In order to sell at a lot of the farmers markets, you're required to have insurance, and so that was a big financial barrier.
We didn't want to do it individually because we knew that it was going to be expensive and disheartening and frustrating to do it alone. We wanted a team of people to work together. If you've not voted already, at the break there's a chance to vote back there at the gray plastic tub.
In 2013, Lotman and 4 of her fellow micro-farmers formed the Yard to Market Cooperative with the idea of sharing the burdens and rewards of yard-scale farming. The cooperative business model works well for these individual micro-farmers working as a collective group.
Does anybody have any questions with the numbers that they're seeing right now?
Co-op members meet regularly to discuss the group's finances, review and vote on the cooperative's rules and bylaws, and to share their ideas and experiences in the garden. The Yard to Market Cooperative also maintains its own website to keep its members and the public informed. Topics include everything from gardening tips to recipe ideas to what's hot and what's not at local farmers markets.
There we go.
Members of the Yard to Market Cooperative also share the marketing responsibilities. Every week they bring their ripened crops to the Hope Farmers Market for sale to the public. This is another benefit of working together. As a group, they can produce and sell a variety of crops that would not be possible if they were working individually.
One sorrel. What else is up here that I should look at?
There's 3 dozen eggs we need to get in the cooler.
Great.
Right now I have tomatillos, tomatoes, squash, beans, peppers, cucumbers. I do a lot of canning, so I like to grow a lot of pickling cucumbers. Some herbs, basically anything, mostly heirloom varieties. Sage, purple sage, basil. I hope I got all my numbers right. Oh, this is stevia.
We have duck eggs today.
The group also receives technical assistance from the Texas Rural Cooperative Center at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. The program has assisted this cooperative with business advice on things like accounting, sales projections, and information that would help their operational efficiency. The program also informs the group of grant opportunities that can benefit them. Through their hard work and efforts, the Yard to Market Cooperative has grown from 5 members to 24 members in just 2 years, and it serves as a model for other cooperatives to follow.
As you can see, they're really a model cooperative and a model micro-distribution business for small-time producers. They also are an anchor tent at this market, so it's particularly great to see them come out here and be one of the only produce sellers for this very small, very local farmers market.
We believe this works. It's really empowering for home gardeners and for anyone who grows food, and we want to share it.
Austin area residents who want to learn more about joining the Yard to Market Cooperative can contact the group at 512-537-6238. Their web address is www.yardtomarket.coop.
You now have the knowledge and resources to begin your venture. Don't miss out on this opportunity to help yourself and your community.
Our local cooperatives are a true inspiration in South Texas, and we are beyond excited to see what's in store for us as more rural businesses dot the area. That wraps up today's show. Thank you for watching. I'm Tina Vera.
And I'm Karen Gonzalez. Until next time.